Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Lateness is greatness, but I was busy enjoying a Chinese, and then basically I had to try and set everything up and more in the space of about 60 seconds, as well as sort myself out, as you do. Cheers, especially to early doors. Cheers to you, bro. Not the first person to actually be intrigued by this pint-sized glass of chocolate milk in the late hours of the day, but we've got a few topics of discussion just in the meanwhile, whilst we're watching the Burnley Manchester City game. Um, just on the updates, but yeah, basically, it ain't started too well for Burnley. Life in the Premier League is it's not the most enjoyable feat in the world, and basically, Erling Haaland has already won. Well, he's already pretty much laid the foundations to what to expect this season. Pretty much first opportunity and first goal. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But supposedly, Martial and Sancho basically are up for sale, is what is popped in that title. And yeah, basically, it's an interesting one because it's, I think the Martial one, I think it's not really as much as divisive opinion based topic as, say, the Sancho stuff is, because I think there's a lot of people who say, well, let's give him another season, whereas there's a few others that will probably tell you, nah, man, the guy doesn't need it. You don't need it. Don't need the extra season. Sell him this season, and I'll tell you what, there could be a case for it. If it ends up being the case that Dean Henderson, for whatever stupid reason, doesn't get sold, and neither does Scott McTominay, that we should find any validation in selling Sancho and Martial instead. Martial's very injury prone. He's probably not going to have a huge amount to offer. But yeah, so here you can see up there, that's a live score um, for the Burnley Man City game at the moment. So we'll have things sort of kept up to date there. I'm also watching something streamwise on my second monitor. Thank goodness for having a second monitor as well, by the way, because otherwise this would be an absolute nightmare to do. Um, but I'm wondering what the best form of approach is with actually watching games. I don't know if being sport is the best option, or if there's an alternative that's reliable. That's very, very reliable. And to be honest, I would prefer just a reliable place to watch all the games. Um, I'm also going to do a quick Instagram post just so that people will know that this is going on right now. Just so people know that I'm currently on the air, currently rocking things. It's all good, and also we're up to 75 subscribers as well. Big ups to you. This channel is doing super good, super well for itself. So thank you very much for those of you who are subscribing and tuning into streams. Love it. Absolutely love it. Um, but yeah, uh, so far not so good for Burnley Football Club. It's looking a bit worrisome, a bit troublesome. I know it's early doors and all of that. Pardon the pun. Um, but yeah, let's go do us a quick cheeky Instagram post so everybody knows I'm live and doing this. I'm going to also scroll through to see if I can find where the story is for um, what's its face um, for the Sancho Martial stories. So Yeah. Big ups, chat. We get some of that. Get some of that. Let's see if we can get some more peoples in here. I know there's probably not going to be a lot of people to distinguish between the streams to spread out across the landscape here, because I think there's a lot of people who've got their eyes drawn to this game going on in the background. Longhaired Yeti, good to see you. Big up, my dude. Big ups to you too. Fantastic show on Tony Claude Gunner on that channel there. Fantastic show. Was quite hilarious. The crazy arguments going on in there. The heated debates in the midst of battle. Um, quite a funny show that. But yeah, big ups to you, and well done for earlier. Also, for anybody else that is in this chat, go drop Loghead Yeti's Cave a subscription on his channel. Obviously, Nottingham Forest, as per his channel icon there. Nottingham Forest supporter, does content for Nottingham Forest as well as other content outside of football. So if you prefer sometimes a little bit of a break and a get away from football, Long-Haired Yeti, he'll give you some good content to enjoy on the side there. Yeah, loved it. Great banter. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, so far in this Burnley game, it looks as though it's a bit of just a probing mission for Manchester City. Sort of playing it around the back at the moment, not really inciting much danger here. I'm just going to pop out the post there. Currently live at the moment, watching Burnley game. Come join in! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Lovely. Need to correct that there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. We love it out here. But 75 subs, man, going where I thought you would. Congrats, dude. Thank you very much, man. It's that, like, I'll tell you what, I wasn't expecting, mad growth or anything like that at all. But it's one of those things where you see growth and you see the progression. It kind of gets me feeling the vibes of Mikel Arteta trusting his process at Arsenal. But no, in all seriousness, right, it's honestly super cool to see that this channel's growing and we're going in the right direction. And seriously, I can't say it enough. But yeah, seriously, thank you to everybody that has been watching the streams, liking the streams, subscribing to the channel. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely mental. So yeah, big thank yous to everybody that has contributed. This is why I wanted to get you in the mix. Yeah, big ups to you, man. That's definitely helped quite a bit. It's contributed quite strongly to the growth of this channel. Sort of getting in and amongst a football YouTube community, just so that everyone knows that the channel is there. And I think that's probably quite an important thing for quite a lot of small channels. Is just the acknowledgement for a wider community to know that a channel is there. Do be sure to go check out those channels, and basically everyone gets a piece of the pie, and it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man, I can see the good ones. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. But Yeti, it's already started, man. The robot's already made his mark in the Premier League. The first goal scorer of the Premier League, and it's Erling Haaland. Yet still, in the first 4 minutes of the game, man's just crazy. We did a 3-hour stream. Knew you deserved it. Yeah, thank you very much, man. Let's try and get your channel up there as well. Let's try and get your channel on the rise. Let's get you challenging be Forest Fan TV's noisy neighbours and eventually overtake them. Do it the cool way. None of this. Welcome to today's Nottingham Forest news. No, none of that. Just chilled talk and everything. Just relaxed. Just literally banter about everything that there is to banter about in life. It's just a machine, Holland. Exactly. If you'd like to pop on as well, mate, you're more than welcome to join in. I mean, this is quite a chill stream. Literally, just a couple of conversation talking points on the sides. So, literally, it's just a really chilled stream tonight. Done a stream earlier today regarding other rival topics and whatnot. But I think today's been quite calm with the United front, so it's not a massive amount to talk about. Obviously, a couple of talking points about Martial and Sancho potential sales on that front. But yes, sure thing. Let me get the game on. Let me switcheroo the setup here. I have to see how to work this because I haven't actually hosted people before on this, so I'm gonna have to get my know-how on this team. Let's have a look here. Come on, Burnley, 100%. Come on, Burnley, trip Man City out. Look, if Burnley beat Man City, if Burnley beat Man City, although it might not be so likely, and we beat Wolves on the Monday, I'll tell you what. Oh, it's a good chance of Burnley. Oh, it's a simple save. Simple save for Edison there. Um, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Get that popped up there. Just so everyone can see it. Lovely. Out of the way of the... why it's zoomed in there. But yeah, let me pop this StreamYard link. Burnley are getting chances. Yeah, they're doing all right. They've got possession of the ball right now. They're quite chilled. Rico Lewis is playing at left back for them. They've got Vardiol on the bench as well. Oh, there you go. Now I've just fouled Rico Lewis, and now he's drop link in Discord, matey. I don't actually have anybody on Discord from the communities. I'll see if I'll drop you the link on the Instagram page. Hold on a sec. Let me load this up real quick. Not now. There we go. Just dropped you that link on the Instagram direct page there. Oops. Instagram brain bastard. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. or is sending a message on that's called now on Twitter, or we tweeted, or on X we. Um, I mean, if you wanted to get technical, you call it Twitter X. It's technically called Twitter X, but it's like when you upload a video onto Twitter X nowadays, you call it X videos now. I mean, that's the debacle that we're faced with, you know. Critical phase. But let me know what you guys think about this potential to selling Sancho and Martial, and what you guys would do. Just going to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, long-haired Yeti. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, my dude? All right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. All good.
Nice.
Let me
Yeah.
just turn this. Let me just mute the stream as well, because I feel like I'm talking twice.
No, it's all good.
How you doing, Big T, mate? You all right?
Yeah, Yeti. Big ups, Big T. I'm doing well. Yeah, it's a bit of a break-in play at the moment. I think one of the Burnley players are down, injured at the moment. Pep Guardiola's giving his best drama class on the touchline at the moment.
It sucks what's happened with Ireland.
With Ireland, I've not been.
Ireland, I mean, not Ireland.
Oil. I was about to say, what's happened to Ireland? What have I missed out here? It's like, Jesus Christ, it's talk about islands that are having problems. I mean, Jesus, Hawaii's not having a good time at the moment, but Jesus, but yeah, Hoyland's not great, not fantastic, unfortunately.
Yes, Mr. Big T, I have got great taste in music. Iron Maiden, all that kind of stuff. You know, I can't be long-haired yet if I don't have great taste in music.
Like, you have a shirt on right now that's a band dedicated, or is that just?
No, mate, it's actually. You know what? This shirt is so cool. You know why it's so cool? It's like,
No.
I'll stand up. It's a skull holding a glass of lager, and it's exactly the same glass.
The same thing as what you got there.
It's exactly the same glass that I own, with my lager in it. How cool is that?
I'll tell you what, you could recreate that picture. By the time you get to the 90th minute against Arsenal in the first game, you might literally have to be one of those Grim Reapers with just a skull after watching a game for 90 minutes.
Yeah, he definitely could be a fact, mate. To be honest, he definitely could be a fact.
Man City.
It's one of them for me, mate. To be honest, at the end of the day, we've got to show that we're able to compete in this league. I mean, we beat Arsenal at our place, but I don't think we beat you guys at all, did we?
No, we played you 4 times and you lost every single time 2-3-0.
Yeah, 100%.
Zero goals scored, which really took me by surprise, and it just felt like all of those games were just, you might as well stick it on repeat. It's like watching last week's episodes of your favorite TV
100%.
show or something.
100%. You smashed us, mate. At the end of the day.
Obviously, it's a new beard. Trust me, mate. I'm trying. My genes aren't strong enough to warrant me growing a beard. I'm sort of having to just keep doing the shaving thing to try and encourage, like, the hair growth to kick into gear a bit here. I might have to wait until my 50s.
You've got the start of it, though, the bum fluff.
Well, yeah,
You've got the bum fluff going on.
I've had the start of it for the best part of what, like, 5, 6, 7 years now.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, right. Well, I mean, you got plenty of time to go. Yeah, I didn't start having a beard till I was like 45. So
yeah, probably just have to wait till I get to my 50s. Proper grow it out, look like I'm one of the honorary members of Dragon Force or something. Also,
Well, if
shout
you do
out
them
to
powers, mate, you'll be fine.
Thogden, man. He's come such a long way. Man's now starting in goal for Burnley today. Like he's come a long
Yeah,
way
big
from
up, man.
doing YouTube videos with his dad to playing Premier League footballing between the sticks.
Mm. Can't knock it, mate. Can't knock it. I mean, I remember Hilda Fogden from Coronation Street. Oh no, wait, no, that's Ogden, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
Ogden. My bad. I saw him. I know he ain't got his curlers in, so I've obviously got the wrong person.
I was about to say if that's just another case of the Rory Jennings there, where man's a football YouTuber from once being a bloody Doctor Who.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, that's a good break from Burnley.
I might be completely like miles behind everyone here because I'm having to watch it on an unreliable streaming location, but it is what it is. Where are you watching the game?
Bing Sports.
Ah, okay, so you're actually on the Bing Sport now.
Mm.
I would have thought that what's his face, Lee Gunner would have been using Bing Sport if it's better value for money than his DAZN app, because I know that he's watching this game on DAZN.
Yeah, yeah. I think DAZN you get more games in more leagues, so I can understand why you go for that instead. I think it's only like £24. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I've heard him saying certain things about. Oh, I don't keep want to saying it. Keep want to saying it. I mean, keep want to say it. I thought, what moment are you in the game? What minute are you in the game? Even.
Well, I'm stuck on 27 minutes, so 5 seconds with a big buffering circle on my screen. So it's kind of
okay. So yeah, I'm quite 28 odd minutes in front of you. If you want to have a look at that Bing Sports, because you can like pay for it for a year. It's like £72 for a year, which is totally better than Sky.
Yeah.
And it's like guaranteed games. You know, you will get a little bit of buffering and stuff like that, but most of the time they're absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
You know.
Jaminio, good to see you. How you doing, buddy?
Jaminio, my dude, how you doing?
Burnley. I'll tell you what, I mean, Man City have started this game off the perfect way, but I think it's one of those things. Do you want to try and make it 2-0, say, before half time? Because you just want to solidify that cushion. Because as much as it be Manchester City, and most people would write off Burnley at first glance, tell you what, it's these sort of games where you want to instill a bit of a cushion before you sort of get to later stages of the game where momentum starts to like waver a bit. Because it just takes one goal, if you've only got the 1-goal lead, to just for the game plan to almost go completely out the window.
Yeah, is it me though, or does it just look weird what colours Manchester City are playing in? It's just so weird.
I'm
not used to them playing in that. Yeah, they look like Aston Villa.
Finally grown into the game, yeah. Finding their feet a bit. It's like what I said with the Burnley kits is what I've been saying on a previous stream, was where the 3 claret and blue teams are basically pulling off this Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other. It's just like, oh, hey, I'm Spider-Man, but you're Spider-Man, he's Spider-Man. But they're just doing that with each other's home kits, where it's like Aston Villa got like a West or a Burnley kit, and then West Ham have got an Aston Villa kit, and like it's a strange one that's occurred here. The colour is like white but grey at the same time. Yeah, it's a peculiar one.
It is very strange. It's like they're playing against their under 23s, and they've both got the opposite colours on.
Tell you what's going to be absolute banter is if we play a game and we've got our away kit on, and the amount of people that might tune into it's just like, hold on a second, why is this a Newcastle game? No, I don't want to watch Newcastle, and they'll go straight over to the next channel. Tony Ibarra, good to see you. I hope
How you
you're
doing,
doing well.
Tony? I could try and pause my game to get to where you are if you want. I think. I don't know how you do that actually. No pause button on it.
I managed to get something that's playing on my feed there.
Hmm.
Either of you guys do FPL? I don't, Jamino, but I don't know about everyone else. If there is this little FPL league perhaps going on in the background. I've never really got into FPL. Everyone else I
Hmm.
know has. I guess maybe I'm just missing out on something.
I've done it, but then I kind of get bored at
Mm.
some point and then just stop bothering about it. So I end up with players that are injured for the rest of the season. So I just don't bother.
I think it sort of gets that way for I think most people who play FPL, where
Hmm.
it's like they're just like, oh, I got a good feeling about this season. They'll field a team and they get the worst points possible, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake! So I
Yeah.
quit. Screw this season. Write the season off. Cancel it. Go again next season. Just delete the app for another 9-10 months.
Yeah. Oh.
Jajamio. Big up the panel. Big ups to you too, Tony.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Burnley ain't doing bad, to be fair. They're actually
No.
sort of giving them a game. They started getting a bit more like uh, just Man City kind of having an exhibition match, but they're defending well from what I can see so far. I need to go to the loo. I'll be back in a sec.
No worries. He says Newcastle away will be interesting kit wise. Well, I think we'll probably go into that game either wearing home or third kit, and probably will be the home kits that we wear, just because obviously Newcastle black and white, with the black shorts, and then Manchester United will wear the white shorts with just the full red top. So I think that's probably the best way to avoid kit clashes there. So we'll probably play in that game with the home kit, but. I'll tell you what, there's going to be quite a few instances where it's going to be a strange watch. A strange watch. All good fellas having a nice beer at having a rice beer. Ooh, a rice beer. So it's a beer that's good. You wearing a Declan Rice shirt by any chance, Tony? You've got that rice baby playing in the background whilst you're sipping on that beer. Mm, good stuff. Good stuff. I refuse to play FPL. No way. I'm only picking 3 United players. Yeah, just pick the whole United team. Make it like it's a FIFA Ultimate Team type thing, where you literally just field an entire 11 of just Manchester United players, but then just get absolutely stuffed by some legends from like 50 years ago. I do it, but I always quit early because I get bored. Yeah, there you go. So there's another case. Firmino's in the same boat as you, Yeti. He plays it a couple of weeks before he gets bored and quits. Manchester City got a big chance here. Big chance to make it 2. I'm gonna convert it. Ice cold beer, I meant. Yeah. Tony Ibarra's just saying that he has a rice cold beer at the moment that he's enjoying, and Man City have made it 2.
Absolute. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're in front of me now. Haaland. They said he was finished. Arsenal said he was finished. They obviously ain't.
He was hiding his game. Oh, lovely finish that.
Oh,
Lovely finish. No,
beautiful.
that's just like he's received it. It's just straight away on the half turn. Just yep, and bend it towards the top of the goal.
Beautiful that was.
Anyone picked Dara O'Shea for FPL this week was stupid. Evening, folks. Mama Flossie, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Mama Flossie. How you doing?
Has a home team ever played in their away kit at home? Ooh. I feel like that could. I don't actually know.
I think we did once. And I didn't agree with it. I was like, screw that, we're at home.
I don't know if it's like that's one of the things that happens way more than people actually care to acknowledge. So it's like
Mm.
everyone thinks it never happens, but it actually happens a lot more often than people think. It's really, really
Yeah, I'm
weird.
sure we did it once, and I was annoyed by it, to be honest.
I'm actually scared about tomorrow. Arsenal are still on a high, and it's an early kickoff. Yeah, one of those things. 12:30 kickoff. I mean, I'm going to be at work tomorrow at that time. I'm going to miss all of
Mm.
Saturday's football, which absolutely bloody sucks. But I'm going to be
Yeah, it
making the
does
most of
suck.
Sunday. Going to be making the most of
Mm.
Sunday's football, and then obviously the watch along, or as much of a watch along as I can do for our Monday night game, um, which is all good. But yeah, man, you lose that 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday, your whole weekend is in the bin.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you totally. I mean, when I was working at DPD, I used to have because I got Sky Go because a mate of mine gave me his password,
Mm.
so I was able to actually watch the games while I was working.
Mm.
But yeah, it sucks when you can't actually see. I mean, I lost so many bets as well because I did that Super Six, and
Mm.
there was so many times it was nearly on for me. I must have lost so much money because I weren't obviously taking into account what I was doing at work.
Yeah. What do you
Otherwise, I
guys
get
make?
sacked. So you got to think about these things.
Yeah. What do you guys make of Dara O'Shea so far? Burnley's number 2. He's been fairly poor in my opinion, yet some Irish people are trying to tell me he's better than Thiago Silva. Well, he's conceded 2 goals thus far. Um, I suppose.
He's better than Rice. Just jump some controversy in there.
It's gonna bring a liquidator out in a minute.
The thing is, yeah, Jamini will agree with me. He'll say yes, he is.
Sipping on a Muller Rice if you watch the advert. Oh, bloody hell.
How many more do you think you guys are going to sign before the end of the window?
I want to see us. Well, obviously, think Amrabat's a bit of a foregone conclusion. I think that one's just a compulsory. I think after Amrabat, I think the intention is to signing obviously Maguire's replacement. So another centre back, another backup
You only
midfielder.
need a piece of concrete, don't you,
Well, yeah, it's
to
like
replace
Ferguson.
Maguire?
Well, it's like Ferguson when he's just like, well, give me 10 planks of wood and Roy Keane and I'll win Champions League or something like that. That sort of a comment. I mean, Jesus Christ. Might as well stick a concrete slab in the back and Ten Hag will still get a better performance out of him. Foden, disappointing in the end. Rajat, hello. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well.
How you doing, Raja?
Reading have the option to play in their home kit, even if they're away. If they choose to use this rule and come up against a team with a blue and white home kit, the home team must use their away kit. Okay, well,
You should also, whoever comes to your place should always play in an away kit, even if they're in like a netball team's girl shirt, which is pink. It don't matter. They should always wear a different colour to what your main colours are. That's what home advantage is at the end of the day.
Haaland already leading goal scorer, and he will stay there all season. Is it wrong to want him to pick up an injury? I don't actually know. I don't know what people think about wishing injuries upon other players. I mean, personally, I wouldn't.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That
Personally, I
makes you an
wouldn't.
asshole. That makes you an asshole. Sorry.
We can love to hate players the same way I absolutely adore the prospect at fully hating Harry Maguire as a player. But as far as the human side goes, the human side is just a personal factor. And
100%.
at the end of the day, it's just a sport. It's just football's an occupation
Yeah,
for them as well as it is an entertainment industry for us. So just
absolutely.
don't take
You
nothing
never, you
personal.
never wish injury on anybody. You never wish death on anybody. That's
That's
not
right.
the right way to be.
Right, let's hope Man City draw 2-2, bro. F them. I second that. I second that. Just
Can't
Cullen
see it.
is an awful decision by company. Um, well, I don't really study up on Burnley, so as far as what company opts to do with this Burnley team is whatever he chooses to do. It's his play thing.
Yeah.
Of course, it's no longer
This
his
has
play.
got to be a nightmare first game for anybody, though, that just comes into the Premier League. Straight away against Manchester City.
I mean, maybe I think Man City fans will probably have said that perhaps the first game and making it an away game for a newly promoted team. So if you're going to a newly promoted team's ground for the first game, is the perfect opportunity to try and test your luck at catching the team
Yeah.
cold.
I see where you're coming from, but it's like also like, I mean, it's a nightmare game for us against Arsenal at the Emirates.
Mm.
You know, I mean, as much as like, I mean, I'd rather have it now than I'd have it at towards the end of the season when we really need points. But you know, it is a nightmare game because they're looking at like taking on City and all that kind of stuff. So there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a nightmare game.
Mm. Yeti, what brand of tobacco are you smoking? Asking for a friend.
I'm smoking gunk weed.
I wouldn't know what that is because I don't really drink or don't really smoke. So
It's like dope.
sounds dope. Um, I think Burnley can
No,
score one.
I'm not. I'm smoking Embassy Signature Gold. Signature One. Is it Signature One or Signature? I don't know what it's called. It's Embassy anyway.
Rajat thinks Burnley will get a goal this game. Maybe it'll probably be a later on sort of thing when the subs get made and it's just Pep trying to do the professional job to see out the game. Maybe maybe just that split moment where the loss of concentration, perhaps because being so early in the season, you'll probably get a bit of that from teams where a player loses concentration for a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother attempting to figure out what number that is, but that many times better than Rice. But O'Shea is still one of the biggest pricks in the history of our national team.
Mate, I tell you what, Jaminio, your hate is just off the scale. See, I don't even use that word, even though there is some people I really don't like, but I just don't have hate for them because hate comes back. It's like a karma thing. You hate, you get hated.
I'll tell you what, if I hate Maguire this much, I'll tell you what, if I ever get to like the high echelons of YouTube with like 100k subs or something, I'll just see Harry Maguire spamming my comment section. It's just like this fraud YouTuber, get him off the air, cancel this YouTube. Copyright strike.
I can see where it's coming from because it's like when I was a young kid and I think England was in the World Cup and we lost to Cameroon. And it's like, you know, I didn't go on the hate tiff, but it's like when we got knocked out and Miller was in the Cameroon team. And I can remember my dad shouting up and saying, "Oh, do you want an ham sandwich or anything?" And I just said, "No, I never want to eat again." Because we like got knocked out, so I decided to choose starvation. But you know, that was just back then when I was a kid. Now I don't care because if I was like that with England, I probably wouldn't even be alive now. So
Amrabat, a defender, that Scottish keeper for 1 mil and a big striker deadline day. I'll tell you what though, I think the striker side of things, where I think we're prioritizing a lot of the money that we have left over or the sell to buy factors towards the Amrabat signing, the centre back, but also the
not getting a penalty for that,
and the second midfielder. I think the striker side of things is probably going to be subject to a loan deal, and I think probably the most realistic name for a like big name striker loan deal is probably again going to be Joao Felix. Either that or Dusan Vlahovic. I think everyone else that's on the market, I think everyone just wants to sell or buy. But as far as loaning strikers at the top level, I don't think there's really many people available. But I'll be
See,
happy with that.
I'm one of these sort of people that I think nowadays, if you pay the money, you'll get the player. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter whether, you know what I mean.
yeah,
That's just the way I look at it. Like if Arsenal all of a sudden jumped in and went, "Oh, I'll give you 150 million for Kane," I think you'll get him.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? There's a certain price to every single player, and when people turn around and go like, "Oh, well, you can't spend that kind of money on one player," on Kane, yes, you can,
yeah.
because you guaranteed goals.
What do you
You
reckon
make
with
the money back anyway.
What do you reckon the Bayern Munich attaining Harry Kane? Would you reckon that does for their Champions League chances? Because obviously, I think the Bundesliga is a cakewalk as it is for Bayern Munich these days, and I think it's even more so now they finally got a Lewandowski replacement for goal output. Yeah, I think the question really is, what do they do in the Champions League? Because with Lewandowski, that's when they were challenging in Champions League. Lose Lewandowski, you could see it. They were missing that proper number 9 quite badly against the big teams. Do you reckon Harry Kane does them any wonders for that?
I think it's an absolutely phenomenal signing for Bayern Munich because that guy just breeds goals. He's just goals. And like I said on the stream earlier, I'm surprised more teams didn't just break the bank to actually get him. Because at the end of the day, yes, it's going to cost a lot of money. Yes, the wages are going to cost a lot. But what he's going to bring to your team will pay that money off.
Yeah. It's like
He's a phenomenal player.
The transfer fee is essentially it worth its weight in gold. Oh, bloody hell. Just seeing there, Burnley challenging with I think it was Rodri, calling for a penalty there, but that ball was going to go past Edison.
That's the one I was on about. That was definitely no penalty. Sorry, there's no penalty there. But it's like, you got to sort of look. I mean, if Forest, if we had the money and they went, "Oh, let's spend 150 million on Kane," there'd be a lot of Forest fans, because I've seen it loads of times, because they think they're financial advisors and all that kind of stuff. Oh, he's not worth 150 million. It's like, what planet are you living on? I mean, if Forest was to do that, that would be the difference to our team. And that's the way you have to look at it. I don't care how much it costs. Don't give a toss. It's not my money.
Yeah. You mean, I wish small and not violent injuries on players, injuries to rule them out for the rest of the season, the rest of the game or a few games, mainly Irish players. I wish this on. Normally Connor Hurahan.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same point, you've got to take into account that you do that, there'll be other teams wishing Saka to get injured for the rest of the season. There'll be other teams wishing Martinelli does. There'll be teams wishing that Havertz does, although that'd be really a waste of a wish. But it's like, if you're going to do that, then you've got to expect it the other way around as well.
It's like when I play a FIFA career mode and I stick the injury sliders for the CPU team up to 100, and I watch these players just randomly drop to the ground, and then they sub the player off, they bring the next player on, literally 2 seconds later that player falls over. Apparently he's broken his tibia bone in like 3 different places, and like, but I want you to injure the more important players, not this nobody that I've never heard of before that they signed from the Mexican league. The Pep is a effing prick. Had John Stones in my FPL and he didn't start him. Surprised with the oh Jesus, Pep Guardiola's getting in the cameraman's face.
Yeah, it's half time now.
That's quite timely comment that I bring that up. Pep is an effing prick and he's acting like a prick to the cameraman. But yeah, interesting that the system or the formation that worked for Pep Guardiola's success for Man City last season, that he's opted to almost revert to type a bit. I think maybe he's done that with the fact that he's got obviously fullbacks now back in the team. But then again, you probably could do the same thing by going back to that sort of 3-2-4-1 formation in possession, with Stones playing in midfield, because that guy was absolutely brilliant in midfield. I don't know where that's been. I mean, you might as well have said, well, look, the guy's, Rodri's equal as to how comfortable he looked in that position.
Well, is it not the same as Alex Ferguson taking Roy Keane from us, and we played Roy Keane as a striker, and Alex Ferguson put him in midfield, and he was the best. He's been the best midfielder I've ever seen. Yeah. He was just absolutely amazing. And as for that comment, what Jaminho just made about Stones, that's the difference between Man City and Arsenal for me. Pep don't work by emotion. He will keep them out if he don't think they are part of the right fit, and I don't think you've got that.
I think I think that's the thing with a lot of Prem teams, is that they're not quite, like, the squad's not quite on the Manchester City level, right? Where it's like you've got first team players lining your bench as well as on the pitch, and it's just like your rotation doesn't get based around fitness or player management like that. It gets based around tactical approaches to games.
Of course, exactly. Of course,
and it's like does, if you're Arsenal, you try and field the best possible 11 for a key game. If you are Tottenham, field the best 11. Chelsea, field the best 11. Liverpool, best 11. United, best 11. Man City probably don't even opt to go with everyone's favourite choice of squad, and they'll still. They'll still just like do a professional job in the game and see out a positive result. And
they've got an amazing bench. They've got amazing depth, even if it's a young guy or whatever like that. Like Arsenal used to have actually under Arsene Wenger. They used to have quality on the bench that was younger guys, and they used to use them in the cups and all that kind of stuff. And they used to do really well. I mean, and to me, it's like Pep has that depth, and if you're a good manager, you could probably think, oh, Haaland's not the right guy for this game. Alvarez is. So that's what makes you a good manager, and having that depth is huge. It's huge. Arsenal haven't got that depth.
It's interesting with the striker situation, because where you say, well, Haaland starts for Man City, you'd say, well, Julian Alvarez is the bench striker, but he's playing as well. He's playing as a number 10. So it's interesting, just sort of trying to think about what the concept behind that actually is, or whether, I think some other people might say, well, you could stick De Bruyne in that position because the guy's got an eye for goal there as well, and he can play in behind Haaland. But obviously Pep sees the idea of having this versatile or, more agile striker played in behind Erling Haaland as a target man. Not too sure on what the idea behind that actually is, but
I mean, imagine having a Haaland, a De Bruyne, and leaving him on the bench. I don't think there's a team in the top 4 that has that kind of, what they can do. I don't think there's a team in the top 4 that can do that, aside from Manchester City. They have got some quality players. He picks them well. He's looking at Paqueta now, and they're offering major money for Paqueta, and they're probably going to get him as well. Unfortunately for West Ham, I think they are going to get him. And then, and that's the difference. That's the divide.
Yeah.
The divide is massive. Arsenal, if they was to go and win the title this season, it would be like when we went in 1979 and won the European Cup. It's that kind of thing. So if they've got that mentality to actually be able to go and finish this off and actually do the right thing, But I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, you're miles away from Man City. Miles away. If you think £105 million player makes that difference, I'm sorry, it doesn't.
So got no worries, Jaminho, with his comment there. Don't want to keep listing of all the clubs he hates. I think we've seen that in the group chat as it is anyway. So we understand what sort of
I only have
role
to
he's been
look at a
getting.
list, Jaminho, and as if it all I have to look at this list is Arsenal, and then every other team, and I know you hate all of them, so there's I don't have to ask.
It's like if you could write a book of Jaminho's hate, is his hate story. It'll be the thickness of the Bible or the Quran or
Yeah,
something.
definitely.
Just thousands and thousands of pages. So Big T says a drama trial is still available on a free. Surprised nobody has signed him. Tell him not to shoot, just drive through defenders and pass. What do you make of Adama Traore? Do you think he's all that, or do you think he's a bit more of like a false advertisement? Looks like he does one
He's
thing, but he's not.
Yeah, he's just a greased up McManaman, to be honest. He just like he can run through everybody and all this, that and the other, but then he just does not have anything after that, unfortunately. If he could actually learn to like work out where his teammates are and stuff like that, because he makes amazing runs and he runs for everybody. He's an absolute machine. But if he could work out that pass at the end of it and make the good pass, then he could be amazing, to be honest. But I don't think he's going to do it. He's like just, like I say, he's just a greased up guy. He'd probably be better off on a gay channel, to be honest.
He's like one of those Instagram influencers who does all the working, and he has his little link tree thing in his description. It's just like, check out all my supplements and use my discount code on checkout. And like, but what are you actually good at?
It's such a shame though, because there's so many players. You've got Adama Traore, you've got Lukaku. They've got the physicalities and everything to be amazing players, but they just don't have that brain. And Lukaku, to me, he's just too lazy. Just too lazy. I've watched him so many times, and he's just too lazy. He could be so much better.
He doesn't have the I say. I know you had the conversation about this on Tony Claude's channel with the whole loyalty aspect of things, but I think players will go where the money is.
Of course
But
he will.
if you take it to the extent that Romelu Lukaku has, I think his endless drive to follow that money and the way he's done it has absolutely fucked his career.
Oh
Like
yeah, I agree. I agree totally.
It's like the guy being linked to Juventus, and Juve fans are storming the pitch at the Allianz Stadium in Turin. They're literally on the pitch protesting. Don't sign
I
Lukaku.
agree totally.
Jesus.
And I tell you what, mate, that is going to be even more of a thing. Come the next window, and all these Saudi teams are deciding to steal this player and that player. All us lot, even the top four, are just going to end up with bare bones. Because they are just going to come in like they have done this time. They've only gone for like older players now that nobody's really bothered about and stuff like that. But come next season, if their season really takes off, they're going to be coming in and they're going to be going, Saka, yeah, we'll have him. We'll have Martinelli. We'll have, you know what I mean? We'll have Oyland if he's doing well. We'll have, you know what I mean? And they're just going to come in and they are just going to rip it up. And it might be a good thing for the Premier League, actually, because it might get rid of the stupid, like, money mentality of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so you thought you were streaming Bunker or something like that today?
I was gonna, mate, but I didn't get up till midday. So I was gonna go on, and then I know I had Jez's preview at 6, but he ain't very well. Hopefully he feels better soon because I love Jez. And then Tony Claude said, "Do you want to do a stream?" And I said, "Well, I can't do it at 6 because Jazz is on at 6." And they said, "Well, I'll drop it back to 5." So I was like, "Okay, mate, I'll do that as well." But yeah, it was the plan. It is going to be the plan at some point this weekend. I don't like to plan anything, to be honest. I'm just me, and I just do whatever I do.
Yeah. I'm just going to update them real quick.
I would have streamed it last night, but the problem with Bunker is it's an horror game. Amnesia, the Bunker. It's an horror game, and I have neighbours, and I don't really want to be like screaming into my fucking mic when my neighbours are trying to go to sleep. So it's just not fair, and they're always all right with me. So why would I do that to them?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, in this house, all the walls are practically made out of paper, so any noise I make gets heard right down the opposite end of the house, even with the doors shut and everything. So it's like, thankfully with football, it doesn't go on too late, like the Liga games sometimes get like a very late start or something. Yeah, sometimes
I've started trying to stream at like 6 o'clock in the evening because it's fine, but at that time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be pissing off anybody, so.
I've seen some fans wish death upon opposition players. Well, I mean, here's a prime example of that comment right there with the Vinicius Junior, with the Atletico Madrid fans or the Barcelona fans.
Yeah,
see
people
where they bloody hung a doll of him or something from somewhere. It's just like, sometimes I think where fans perceive sport like a religion, and it's just like the hatred you have, like in this country, hatred for your rivals. Sometimes you can feel a bit like a bit of like bubbly hatred, but there's not like serious venomous hatred to it. Whereas in these other countries, if you were to wear a rival fan's kit in the street just because you liked wearing that kit, you might get a punch in the face or something, or
which stupid or something. Really stupid.
I'm all for like supporting clubs like it's a religion, everything, because obviously passion in the game and all of that. But I think it's just the basic respect for just people on general, in just en masse, just generic.
I see. To be honest, I see hate as a really strong word. And there's a lot of people in this world that deserve it, and there's a lot of people in this world that don't. I'll never sort of give hate to a footballer or something like that because that's just pathetic. There's people trying to sort of put us in a point where, they're trying to kill us left, right, and centre, the elites and all that kind of stuff. That's the people you need to hate, not the people that play on a football pitch and just play football. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, come on, Yeti. You have a voodoo doll of somebody, surely.
Oh, 100%. I have plenty, mate. I have plenty.
What skeletons have you got hidden in your cupboard behind you over
there? Well, I can't say because the police haven't found them yet, and they're still missing bodies. So if I say that, I'm going to give myself away. So I can't really say. But it's like yeah. I mean, there is some certain people I don't like, but I definitely wouldn't. I would never say hate, but I think that's what you get as you sort of get older. You say it when you're a kid, but when you're older, you stop kind of saying that because some people deserve it, not gonna lie. Rapists and all that kind of stuff, they totally deserve it. But not footballers, man. Nah, not in a million. Like eating a flower.
Harry Kane is a goal monster. He will guarantee goals. Yeah, 100%.
100%. 100%.
Also, surprised Ruben Dias was dropped. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, Pep Guardiola's taken a big liking to Akanji, where I think coming from Dortmund, I was not expecting Akanji to be so
Mm.
highly favoured over most other centre backs at Manchester
Mm.
City, because I don't really think he was anything that special at Dortmund, but Pep saw something in him. Obviously, comes to Manchester City first
He's very
season, wins a
quick. He's
treble.
very quick to press. He's very quick into the tackle. He's very quick to win the ball back. And I would say with Akanji, I mean, against Saka in that Champions League, I thought he absolutely owned him, to be honest.
Mm,
So I can totally understand where Pep's coming from. I mean, I ain't no Pep, so I play
mm,
Football Manager, and I do all right on that, but I ain't no fucking Pep. So if he's going to make a decision, it's like me second guessing Brian Clough. I ain't going to do that either. It would be
mm.
stupid.
Also, like Joel Linton went from a League Two level striker to Champions League quality centre mid. It's an
Mm,
interesting journey that Joel Linton's been on, because I remember when Newcastle fans were slating him week in, week out. It's just like, what is
yeah,
this guy
yeah,
actually good for? And then this season
yeah,
comes
yeah,
along, and the
yeah.
guy is practically undroppable. I mean,
100%.
fair plays to him in finding a new role in the team, because that can't be very easy to do at the highest
Mm,
level. Just playing one way, and then you get moved into a
mm.
completely different position, different role, different
Yeah, that's a good
understanding of the
manager,
game,
mate. Your
and
man
then.
did it.
Mm,
Your man did it with Roy Keane.
mm,
Arsene Wenger did it with Thierry Henry. I mean, when Arsene Wenger signed Thierry Henry, I believe he was a striker, and basically Arsene Wenger made him into a winger, and
mm,
he's possibly one of the best goal scoring fucking winging type of players that you
mm.
probably ever see.
Yeah. Say one name that I thought was quite funny was was it Pattinson in the Championship, where he was a centre back, and went from centre back to playing for striker. I think it was for Cardiff City, and the guy
Mm.
was just
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he's doing well with his conversions
Mm.
from
Mm.
centre back. They moved him up front, and the guy just had like
Yeah,
a really good.
Warnock won it. Warnock
Yeah,
moved him
just had
up
a
front.
really
Brilliant.
good season up front.
Yeah.
But then I think the first game he played this season, I think he was playing at right back, and I
Mm.
think someone's obviously thought, well, the jig's up there, mate. You're
Mm.
going back
That's
to
it.
defence.
That to me is a good manager. Where
Mm,
you just look, you sign a player, you look at where they normally play. Look at Caicedo. He went in
mm,
right back against Arsenal in that game. Absolutely phenomenal. He can
yeah,
play defence, and I think that really makes a good manager where you can actually look at a player and go, "You'd be better here
mm,
than you are here." I think
yeah,
that is what makes good managers. That's what Clough did. That's
yeah.
exactly what Clough did.
Man City team has partied too much. Well, I mean, you could probably say that all the team's alcohol consumption comparably has been consumed by one Jack Grealish. Henceforth, he's
Mm.
starting on the bench.
Yeah.
He's still on the recovery phase, so he's having to start
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
bench this game.
yeah.
You'll watch him. You'll be standing on the touchline, ready to be subbed on, just
Mm.
swaying, just ready to go. So, yeah, send me on, Pep. I'll go
It
get you
wasn't
another
fair
goal.
play to him, though. It's fair play to him. He left Aston Villa, and then all of a sudden he's winning titles and Champions Leagues and all this that and the other. That
Winning
drive me to
trebles and
drink.
everything.
Although I don't need anything to drive me to drink. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Arsenal don't have beast striker like Haaland. I mean, Gabriel Jesus, I suppose it's one of those things where it's like,
He's not good
I,
enough.
I know everyone's saying that everyone, like, to be like proper top level, everyone has to have this world class goal scoring number nine.
Hmm.
But I'm wondering if there is a way around that, where it's like, if you look
Hmm.
back in the days of Barcelona at 2013, where they had a false nine and not necessarily an out and out number nine. They had two wingers that were very clinical, with
True.
then
Yeah.
Messi starting in a false nine position. Now Messi's just on a different planet. Like, you put
Hmm.
any proper number nine up against him, but the system idea and the way it was incorporated, it's like they were scoring huge amounts of goals without needing this focal point in the team. I know a lot went through Lionel Messi, but it wasn't like, oh, Messi's your target man and whatnot. There was all of these combinations, triangles. Obviously it's Pep Guardiola, so obviously he's done this before without needing a striker. I mean, it's like the season where he only had Gabriel Jesus, and he even started getting played out on the right wing, and he still won a league title without a recognised number 9 whatsoever. So I think where everyone's saying that it's be all and end all with a number 9, it's just dependent on the manager behind behind the thought process, finding a way to
100%.
say, look,
100%.
okay, I haven't got this, but where else is my team really strong? And having a system
100%.
that really milks that key element to it.
100%. But I will
gonna
say one thing, that having a number 9 that can score like 20 to 30 goals is like, if what I'm doing doesn't work, I've got somebody that, can still, you know what I mean? It's like a
he's the
backup
carry.
plan.
He's
Yeah,
He's the
exactly.
carry of the team. So yeah, I think it's like you can pin a lot of what you
Exactly.
want to have happen just on that one player, just to carry you through games.
Yeah, you
I
could
think
try and sort it out and have different players who can score, but a number 9 is a scorer. So, if you've got that, it's like a comfort blanket type of thing.
I think Mama Flossie knows. She's got hundreds of voodoo dolls.
Yeah, well, she knows me well, so.
If you hear Yeti playing Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, run.
I hate that song, mate. I hate that song. Iron Maiden is much better than that kind of song.
Rude was a midfielder all the way through the academy and youth. It's a bit like Scott McTominay. He came through the academy and he was a striker, I'm pretty sure, for United's academy. And obviously then Mourinho saw otherwise and stuck him in midfield, and then stuck him in centre back, and then stuck him in midfield again.
I do actually think that guy's got something, to be honest. I don't think it's midfield. Definitely not midfield, but like when you get like a corner and he's the one that's trying to edit in, it's very similar to Andy Carroll for me. He's very difficult to beat in the air in that respect. So I actually do think he has something to offer in that respect.
Yeah. Do you think Guardiola gives pep talks?
Right, Big T. Send me your image, mate. I need a voodoo doll.
Only Yeti here makes them dad jokes and can just about get away with it. I mean,
I'm not a dad. How can I make dad jokes?
Well, that's the same thing with me. I mean, a lot of people ask me about my dad jokes. I'm like, I don't see no kids anywhere. I ain't paying no child support.
Mate, I'll get done for fraud if I make dad jokes. You know the way things go nowadays. Well, how can you make dad jokes if you're not a dad?
I bet you're the life of the party, yeah. Right,
if
then,
I had
mate.
kids, I'm not sure how they'd turn out.
All right, then, mate. Give me your best non-dad joke, then. Bet you got them racked up in spade loads.
It's awesome, isn't it? It's awesome. I'd love to have that kind of shit in my chat where people try and give me shit. I'm very sort of quick-witted, so it'd go really well in that respect. Not for you, but it'd go really well for me.
It's scary. It's scary settings, but not for us. Not for us. City before Haaland never had an out-and-out striker. Well, never had a target man number 9 or a carry of the team per se. But I mean, Sergio Aguero. I think actually the last time they had someone like that was probably either Alvaro Negredo or Edin Dzeko. Edin Dzeko was
Dzeko, yeah, definitely
madly underrated. Like that guy, his contributions 100%. Were like super 100%. Sick. Because everyone's obviously mad raving about Sergio Aguero. Everyone's just like, what about Edin Dzeko? Like that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, this is why you've got to worry about Pep, mate, because he just changed the system I've put a striker in there, and he's still doing exactly the same as what he was doing before. He
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. He 100% knows what he's doing.
Mm. Fear of the Dark Yeti.
Oh, mate, I love that track. That and like Number of the Beast and all the old stuff like Hallowed Be Thy Name. My favourite song is probably Murders in the Rue Morgue. Not Murders. No, not Murders in the Rue Morgue. My favourite song is no, fuck it. I can't remember where it is. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, see, it's okay. You can identify it as a dad. Everything goes this day and age.
Yeah. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. That's my favourite Iron Maiden song. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Oh, goodness me. Yeah, if anyone's interested in subbing to Yeti, I don't care if you're interested or not, go sub to him. His channel is linked in the stream title down there. Make sure that you drop him a sub and check out when he's next live. Turn his notification bell on as well, so you'll get notified when he does go live, because I don't
Yeah,
think anyone's
100%.
really tied down to any schedule. So keep that notification bell on, and you'll be first
Now,
to
if you
know.
want to watch me and you want to listen to me talking shit, then come along. It's all good. There'll be some things that's a little bit controversial and stuff like that. If you can't handle that, then don't sub to me. I ain't bothered about being a top YouTuber or anything like that. I just do this for fun. Just to chat to people, because I kind of live on my own and I don't really bother with anybody because I don't like people. So, if you want to like come in and have a chat, then awesome. I'm all up for that. Thanks.
And if you're a member of cancel culture, well, guess what? You're already banned.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
100%.
so don't bother clicking on the link, and you might as well be banned here as well if you're
Mm.
Mr. or Mrs. Cancel Culture out there. Just is what it is. We've got no time for waiting to find new ways of trying to find things that offend you or whatnots. Just is what it is. We just don't tolerate no nonsense. We just want to live
Mm.
life in a fair, justified, easygoing way without really having to be fearing or have phobias of none of this nonsense. Just take life day by day and just
Mm.
enjoy all the small moments whilst you can, because I tell you what, there's many people way less fortunate than you out there that are
Yeah, of
begging
course
to
there
have
is. 100.
even
Yeah, 100%.
half the life that
100%.
us people have. So,
Yeah, 100%.
what's group chat?
100%.
What's group chat you talk of? It's Instagram group,
Yeah,
I think. That got.
Instagram group. We can have another Man United fan in there. I ain't worried about that. I want like fans from all over, but I want it to be about fans from all over. And just it's basically a no chat, not a no chat. It's
You
a
just
chat
join the
and
group and look.
yeah, it's just a chat and
Hmm.
banter group. If you want to talk about what your club signing and stuff like that, we'll take that into account. I'm not gonna like this, like the group I was in before, it was just all Arsenal. And to be honest, I'd rather rip my eyes out with a fucking potato peeler than just be reading about Arsenal all the time.
Yeah. Yet do you cover conspiracies?
Well, it depends how you say that, because not conspiracies, no, truth. Basically, everything that us apparent conspiracy theorists have said is coming true and it's happening. So I wouldn't say conspiracies, but yeah,
Lovely stuff. The cave is a scary place. It is. It's
it
very
is. It is.
a
There's
man.
a lot of places where I've not cleaned up too much, but
Oh,
you can get in there and you can drop your sleeping bag and you'll be all right. But anyway, mate, I keep talking over you, so get on with it.
it's not a place for the easily offended. No, by no means
Mm.
whatsoever. Sounds perfect for me. I have a knack of easily offending people. Apparently, mate. all I need to do to offend apparently half of cancel culture out there is just breathe oxygen. Literally, I seriously, I fit the profile for a lot of criminals out there, for a lot of people, right? Who just say it's just like the feminists who say, well, all men do it, and they're just like, haha, it's at the not all men thing, but it's just like, well, all men could be rapists and all of that. I'm like, well, I mean, mentally insane people, perhaps. But if there's someone who's just honest, trying to, go through life and get on with their, what they're doing. I mean, the amount of people we're seeing nowadays getting out of prison after serving decades because they were falsely imprisoned. I mean, of course, it's a problem out there with, physical violence, sexual violence, and all of that. I mean, it is a big problem. There's a lot of cases that don't get reported. But it's just like the narrative that some people have without like actually deep diving into all matters. It's just it's not under as much consideration as it should do. Full of nutters, yet nut jobs everywhere, and especially over here, biggest nut job of them all. Many conspiracies are true. You just got to believe, and just a justified amount of research. But yeah, justified amount of research as well. Just I think there's the problem is that there's a lot of people, right, who will very quickly just believe what they read by mainstream media, but mainstream media's core existential thing is just by literally, we want to generate clicks, we want to generate money from this, but it ties into those that feed us, that give us existential purpose. So usually it's not that you have to believe everything that goes against what they say, but just do the research yourself, like find out for yourself. And that's basically the easiest way to cut through all the nonsense, BS and everything. I love it though. Yeah, I think we all love it. I think all of the people, and it's just like those that partake in the silly cancel culture and everything. It's just like when you look at them or you listen to them, and that's the thing. I've been in communities with people that have been like that, right? That they have some of these viewpoints, but the thing is when you listen to them speak or when they want
don't
to
know how you do that love thing. Do like that? I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
It's get to it, but
I'm not a
basically,
woke twat, so I don't know how to do it.
just get a pride flag. It does all the work for you. Might send you to about 44,000.
I'm allergic to rainbows.
you might get 44,000 subs though. If you do that,
I don't give a fuck how many subs I get, mate. I don't give a fuck. I don't ever sell out or anything like that. I'll always tell it exactly how it is until the day I die, and I might die actually on stream, which would be awesome. Can you imagine that? It's like, I'm long-haired, yeah. A streamer, but
Flossie says you must come and join us, Big T. My trouble with research is that I can't verify sources. The internet is full of stuff written and reported to fit the author's agenda. And I'll tell you what, there is an element of truth to that, where you get one side of things, and this is the thing that I find with like the actual labeled conspiracy theorist groups, right? Is that one side you've got mainstream media. I don't buy into like 90% of what they say. On the other side, you've also got the groups that also publish the stories as like, but read up on what we say.
Read the Bible.
It stinks of you trying to do what it's like. It's just like human nature. You get an idea and you want to fleece it. You want to take advantage of it. So all the conspiracy theorist like groups, not to like label anybody, individuals in particular at all, but the groups themselves, they end up having the same idea in mind. It's like all the people that believe in the alternate thinking.
You're a groupist.
Yeah, well, you'll just get fleeced for cash as well because donate to our cause instead of the mainstream cause. So you're actually saying, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I don't agree with what mainstream media says, so I'm going to jump the other side of the fence. Who says you need to jump on either side of the fence? You can just sit up there and just watch both sides completely just dissolve into degeneracy. and you can just sit up there, just a clear head, a clear mind, clear perspective.
Common sense.
Just
It's all about common sense, for
Just-
fuck's sake. If you've got
just use the
common
noggin.
sense, you've got no worries.
Hakuna Matata,
I see so many people who are like, "Oh, I've been through college all my life, and I'm so clever, and all this, that, and the other." Look, let me explain something to you right now. Right, it's no point at knowing the circumference. Yeah, exactly. It's no point knowing the circumference of the moon if you're just going to walk into the road and get hit by a fucking bus. That don't help nobody. Have some common sense, man. That's all it's about.
Go, if you've got some common sense in studying the circumference of the moon, at least have some fucking bollocks to go get a job for NASA and go prove the moon landings were real. Right? Go fly
What's the
to the moon.
circumference of the moon anyway? You know what the circumference of the moon is.
I don't. All I know is that you can just stick the moon in front of Australia and it fits into the borders of Australia. That's all
I
I
just
know.
thought it was made of cheese. I only wanted to visit it because I really like eating cheese.
Have you been watching too much Wallace and Gromit, haven't you?
Brilliant.
That's where I remember the moon being made of cheese from. Wensleydale Gromit cheese.
Yeah, but it looks like, well, I mean, some people say it looks like cheese. I mean, it
Yeah.
looks like Stilton, and I'd never fucking lick that fucker. Yeah,
mate.
it's a bit same as the way I feel about Lizzo. Yeah, I'd never lick that fucker either.
I know Button Moon was filmed as that's about it. Oh, mate.
Mate, tell you what, mate. Big up for having me on here. Always respect. Love you, mate. And that's why I wanted to add you to the group so you could sort of get bigger, because that was all I was interested in. Not interested in myself getting bigger. My YouTube channel is Long Eared Yeti's Cave. If you want to go in there, fine. You will hear shit that you don't like. Fine, whatever. I don't give a fuck, to be quite honest with you. I could not give a fuck. I'm going to say whatever I've got to say, and that's it. If you don't like it, then, you know, the door that you came in also goes outwards. I'm going to drop now, buddy.
Yeah.
Awesome being back on your. Actually, I haven't been on your channel before.
Yeah,
you
that's
was
the
on
first.
mine, weren't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
you was on mine. Yeah, awesome, man. I put you up. I bigged you up, and I have no regrets whatsoever. You're an absolute fucking legend, mate.
Yeah,
And big up everybody in the chat, and I'll see you guys later.
Take care, buddy. And just as a second up on that, the Long Eared Yeti's channel is linked in the stream title, so do make sure that you go drop him a sub and all of that good stuff. Big ups to him for joining the stream. Really appreciate the company and makes things a lot more lively. I hear beer is colder on the moon. I mean, I'll tell you what, if somebody has forgotten from NASA to take their cooling box, their ice box back on the rocket ship, you probably will go up there and find a beer from the mid 90s or something, or mid 90s. When was it? Like, no, 60s, I think it was. 60s is when they did all of that jazz. But Man City Burnley game, it's looks like it's just Man City trying to do a bit of a professional job, you know, taking things easy as it is. Just looking quite comfortable at the moment. Whether that changes or not, we'll have to see. Tony Barra, big ups to you. How we doing for likes? Got 5 likes on the stream. Make sure you are liking as you are in the stream, as you are joining. On the road to 80 subs. We are, I believe, last time I checked, halfway there. Let's have a quick ganders again. See what's going on. So yeah, still on 75 subs for the moment. It's all good. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. 25 more subs to go until big 100. 25. Jeez. That's impeccable stuff. Thank you very much to everybody that has been subscribing. Real MVPs of the channel. Yeah, it's quite a chill game now. Quite a chilled game. It's not what I want to do. I want to go into this one. Let's see if I can find out what the teams are looking like. Okay, well, De Bruyne went off in the 23rd minute in the first half and was replaced by Mateo Kovacic. The 62nd minute, I think it was Zaruri came on for Kaliosha. No idea who that person is. And Brun Larsen on for Amdouni. So 2 subs for Burnley, 1 for Man City. Is it 1K subs to be able to introduce memberships? I believe it is. I know that there's 500 subs plus 3K watch hours, watch time, 3K hours and watch time to be able to apply for the YouTube membership or partnerships to get the channel monetized. And then there's another goal for 1,000 subscribers to, I think, to get another exclusivity. So maybe one day we'll get there. Maybe one day. One day. Just have to be patient with it. Trust the process, guys. Trust the process. That's the way we want to do it. But it'll be a very sweet day, a very, very sweet day when that happens, when we hit that 1K subs. Very, very sweet day. Have to try and plan something for that. So what's everyone's thoughts on the league campaigns? What we thinking? We thinking any surprises this season? Did you reckon the biggest surprise in the Premier League is going to be this season? For me, I'm going to pick a surprise team. I'm probably going to go with Aston Villa. I think they'll do better than a lot of people perhaps anticipate. I think just maybe because of the fact that it's Unai Emery. I think they're in the Conference League as well. So maybe, just maybe, knockout specialist or Europa League, Conference League specialist Unai Emery goes and wins Europa League with Aston Villa. Probably a better team with Aston Villa as well than he had at Villarreal. A 2-0 win the UEFA Champions League. Well, if you do that, it'll probably be up there with Porto winning it, I guess. Maybe around that sort of level. Porto winning Champions League, Newcastle United going up there. I'm not sure if what's his face, Eddie Howe will go running halfway up the touchline. But we'll have to see. Realistically, what do you actually reckon? How do you think Newcastle will do in the Champions League, Mama Flossie? Do you reckon you guys will actually get into group stages? Not group stages. I mean, into quarterfinals, semi-finals. Do you reckon you could push for that sort of stage in Champions League, or do you reckon that's sort of wishful thinking? I can dream too. I can dream that we'll win our second treble this season. No, I say that now. Watch it happen. Now that I say that, but that'll be absolutely insane. United go and win a second treble, the very next season after Manchester City win theirs. Newcastle to go further than Arsenal in UEFA Champions League. So that's an Arsenal fan, Tony Ibarra. backing the Toon Army to do better in the Champions League than Arsenal. Interesting. I'll tell you what. Big chance here for Manchester City. We'll see. Big chance for Man City could make this 3-0. Be a game done, game finitoed. But I reckon with Arsenal this season, I know that I think a lot of people have treated Arsenal with the foregone conclusion that because of the way that they played football last season, that it's going to be all exactly the same this season. And they could push. It's 3-0 now, 3-0 Man City. But yeah, I think it's been a bit of a foregone conclusion that a lot, Arsenal fans think, Arsenal will play this scintillating style of football like they did last season. But for some reason, I just get this feeling that they're not going to be like that this season. They'll be good. They'll have some pretty damn good scintillating performances, but they're not going to be like this constantly, like two quick fire goals, scoring really early in games and, just dominating, absolutely outright dominating teams. I think the fact that the team's changed is going to adjust the level slightly. And that is probably you're going to see a bit of, a few more dips of form in the season from Arsenal than you would have seen from them last season. I think they probably won't achieve as many points this season as last, but I think definitely top 4 or top 5 positions in the league. They'll be thereabouts in that conversation. But I just think, in terms of the way that they will play football, I just can't see them playing, as well or the same way as that they've done before. Newcastle, Man United final. I'll tell you what, Eddie Howe will be absolutely bricking it at that point. He'll be bricking it. He'll be like, oh my God, please don't let this be Carabao Cup final repeat. Please don't make this be Carabao Cup final repeat. He'll be hoping for a different outcome, but we'll have to see. Maybe Man United do end up in the Champions League final. Maybe they do. Maybe it could be United Bayern Munich. Maybe it could be United Real Madrid. Personally, I think it probably Real Madrid. I don't know actually with Real Madrid. They haven't got their Karim Benzema this season. I think I'll be missing an element to their team. I think maybe Bayern Munich perhaps will probably be thereabouts Champions League final. I think maybe Man City. It could be a Man City Bayern final, to be honest. It'll probably be a Man City Bayern final. I think we'll do okay. Need to see how they play before I give a prediction. I think the Premier League games might be one thing, and then the Champions League might be another. I think with the way that games go. I mean, it's like West Ham, for example. I think the West Ham last season, very lackluster in the Premier League, but then they'll do all right in the cup competitions. They'll actually play all right in Europa, in the Conference League. I think it was like with David Moyes with Man United in the Champions League. Absolutely woeful, absolutely crap in the Premier League, but actually pretty decent in Champions League. It was a weird one. It was a really, really weird one. So maybe, I don't know if Newcastle might have one of those instances where they're great in one competition, but not so much in the other. But I think it's going to be when you start playing Champions League football, how you're going to perform there. I think to judge it off of league form will be quite a bit, bit difficult to do. It was Rodri that scored Man City's third goal. Champions League final goal scorer. Northwest United versus Northeast United. The battle of the Uniteds. I'll tell you what, if it's a Champions League final, I'll tell you what, I think the fan bases will find every excuse possible in the book to say that the winner of this game will claim the title to rightfully be called United, and that you have to refer to the other team as their first name. as their city name. So like if we beat Newcastle in the Champions League final, you just have to call Newcastle United Newcastle. Don't even call them United. And it's just like with Manchester United. Beat Manchester United in the final, just call them Manchester. Don't even call them United. So Laporte, Palmer, and Vardiol is on for Manchester City. A triple sub from Pep Guardiola in the 80th minute. Big man team. Stephanie Griffith, fantastic to see you. Hope you are doing well. Big ups to you too. Big T, hello again. Yeah, I think it's just been a simple a game of simplicity for Manchester City. You know, just doing a job. I think the stats here, just looking at the stats for this game, yeah, tells the story. I mean, Man City, 14 attempts, 6 on target. Burnley, 4 attempts with 1 on target. Man City, Ederson only having to make one save. Ederson's only had to make 1 save this game. Not great reading for Burnley. Not great reading for a team that plays scintillating football from the Championship to not look this expansive. Is a little bit troublesome. Big Steph in the house. 2 right. I'll second that. Flossy. Lovely stuff. So we're in the last 10 minutes of regulation time now. I'll tell you what, Man City, they've started this season off perfectly. I think it's pressure handed over to all the other teams. You know, if you're interested in a title, come get it. No, I'll tell you, that's that sort of a statement that Man City are making right there. If you want the title, come get it. And I'll start it off again, potentially going for a 4-peat here with Man City. Now solid 3-0 win. And away to Burnley too. I'll tell you what, Man City will make this game look easy, right? They'll make this game look easy. You watch, every other team will go there and they'll struggle. Every other team, they'll go to Burnley and they'll struggle. It'll be so typical. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. How are we feeling, United folks? Wolverhampton Wanderers. Give me some score predictions. Do you know what? Give me score predictions for the Nottingham Forest Arsenal game, the Chelsea Liverpool game, the what is it? Who are Tottenham playing tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? No, it's not. Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. Tottenham Brentford. So Brentford away is what Tottenham have got tomorrow. What your score predictions for that game is, and then obviously Wolves United or United Wolves. You know, some score predictions. I reckon for our game it'll be a 3-0. I can't imagine that new manager bounce is going to quite hit the same. I think that Wolves team has been stripped threadbare, and I think they won't be up for the challenge. I don't think they'll be up for the challenge. But Arsenal Forest, I reckon that'll be a 4. Well, I say 4 now. I think it'll probably be actually a 3-0. I'll say a 3-0 result there. 3-0 result for Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like everyone's predicting it is. No chance. I think Newcastle Aston Villa, I reckon that could be like a 3-1 game in favour of Newcastle. I think that place will be bouncing for the new season. And that's obviously Newcastle, a very hard team to stop when they are on the bounce. Tottenham or Brentford Tottenham, I reckon Tottenham could get a 2-1 result there. I think it's going to be mad shaky for Tottenham that game. Really, really shaky. And I know Brentford can do a good job. But I think as a prediction, I reckon 2-1 to Tottenham. But it could very easily go the other way and be another 3-1 for Brentford, you know? I mean, we just don't know what the test of or the resolve of that Tottenham defence is going to be. Chelsea Liverpool, that's going to be a mad entertaining game to watch, and thank God that I've got the Sunday off of work to actually be able to see that game live, because I think that's gonna have some mad fireworks in it. I think that game is going to be probably I'd like to say a 2-2 draw on that game. I'd like to say a 2-2 draw. I reckon Liverpool will perhaps, or the defence of Liverpool will probably ship a couple goals. But I think Chelsea, they'll do well. They'll do well, but I just don't see them, clearly beating Liverpool. But then obviously, Man United, Wolves, I say 3-0 United. There used to be a thing called sportsmanship in football. City should be banned. Yeah. I mean, maybe they get banned if these, charges find any, any legitimacy to them. If it all goes through and it all caves in for Man City, then we can enjoy their ban from football together. But Arsenal drawing with Forest 1-1. Chelsea Scousers 1-1. United winning 3-0. Anthony Mount, debut goal, and Rashi. I'm not sure about Mason Mount getting a goal. I mean, after his god-awful, atrocious miss against Lens. I can't predict a 0 all season with Onana in goal. I mean, the thing is, right, is I think it'll probably be hard to predict obviously a 0 scoreline in favour of United, just on the basis that we don't know how good Onana is going to be in goal for us when the season's ongoing. Like, he could be really good, but he could also be an absolute calamity. We just don't know, but he's got the makings to have a very good, record for Manchester United. He just needs to follow. He just needs to follow suit with it, and I think if you're worried about getting chipped and all of that, I think as long as Onana is, very decisive in what he wants to do, if his decision making is good, then I can't see why perhaps there is a. I just think that there is a big opportunity for Onana to stake his claim. Obviously, as far as clean sheets go, you're probably not going to get David De Gea's clean sheets record from last season, but I think Onana's got some fantastic saves in him. I think he could pull off some mad worldy performances. I think it just really depends on how the rest of the team do. If the defense is on point, if the defensive midfield's on point, and all of that jazz. It's just really we have to see how well we do when it comes to big games and big moments. The guy who threw a lighter at the beginning of the game has been identified, arrested, and banned from the ground. I didn't even know that there was someone who threw a lighter on the pitch, to be completely honest. I had no clue that happened. The main thing, Maguire's not in our squad and hopefully going soon to operate the bubble making machine. He's going to be able to blow all the bubbles in the world for Manchester City, bloody hell, for West Ham United. Yeah, man. Maguire. I mean, that can't be understated. The serious massive, massive improvement that we're going to see from us not having Maguire in the team, where it's just like the build-up play under pressure. And this is the thing, I know a lot of people say, but Maguire, look at the way that he passes, look at his ball retention, look at the, he's really good. Bringing up all of these clips, right? The Maguire apologists. And I say one thing, right? Where's the press? Where is this high press? It's like if it's Liverpool doing their high press, I'm guaranteeing you Maguire is not composed passing a ball every 5 yards like it's nobody's business, right? He's not. He's panicking, he's shitting the bed, and he's hoofing it 40 yards out of play for a throw-in. Like that's what he's doing. Nice have also equalised. No, Nice have had an equalising goal in their game in the 95th minute, and Lille have rescued a point in that game. Sir L. Jimbo Ratcliffe is in the mud again. He identified as a flamethrower. It's just chucking his kids on the pitch. That's what's going on. Maguire unsettled our whole team. I think at times he unsettled the whole team. It wasn't like every minute of every game that the whole team was completely unsettled. There were some games where it really did look like that, but I don't feel as though he was directly contributing to the team shitting the bed, every other game, or every game. It's just, when there was a clown moment and you looked for the culprit, you'd usually find Harry Maguire in the photo crop. That's just like, right, so I think we know what's gone on here. It's also the fact that he never tracked runners. It's like every time that there's a set play or a passage of play happening against United's defence, you'd see guys like Martinez or Lindelof or Eric Bailly, actually covering their man, but you'd always see the spare man available for the opposition's attack, and you're just like, who's marking him? Who's marking him? Then you go see Maguire, he's either marking the wrong player or he's literally not marking anybody. And it's just those positions where a clinical team punishes you because you're not covering man to man in those situations. And Maguire it's like with Scott McTominay from midfield, just doesn't track runners. Maguire in defence doesn't track runners. So he didn't actually even have to have calamities on the ball. It literally is just defensive contributions. Occasionally he just loses his runner because he hasn't got the pace to stick to his man. So it's like sometimes he would do things to compensate for it, but end up really fluffing his lines again. He gave me nightmares. He gave everybody nightmares. So we've got 6 minutes of additional time. I'll tell you what, I like this. I don't know what everyone else thinks about it with the additional time, where they're going to do essentially what they did in the World Cup, where it's like they're not going to do the plus 1 minute or plus 2 minutes. They're just going to do plus however many minutes it's been roughly, as per how long the ball's not being active in play or that the ball's being live. I like that. I think it's, time wasters are in the mud. Time wasters are crying. We like to see that. We like to see that. How are we doing for likes? So on 6 likes. Lovely stuff. 6 likes. Tall order, but maybe we can make it to 10 likes. Spontaneous liking. A wave of likes push us up into double figures. Can't remember the last time I actually had a 10 likes stream. I think that must have been one of the watch longs from earlier in the season. And oh dear, that's a red card for Burnley. Studs up right on the back of Walker's calf, yeah. And then clips him with the following foot as well. That's silly. That is so silly. You're behind the challenge and he dives into it and puts his studs into the player. That's, yeah, no, that's definitely deserved red card. It's like, the player's beating you. And it's like, it's Carl Walker. I don't know why you're trying to challenge. Don't know why you're trying to challenge there. It's like Kyle Walker's already beaten you. He's passed you, but you decide to stick your foot in anyway. But it's like he's stuck the studs into the back of his calf. I mean, and that's the thing. The Burnley player knows it. He's just jogged off the pitch. He's 100%. No complaints there. More added time now. Yeah, more added time. I mean, I suppose it could be good for the spectators, especially from neutral perspectives, and it's going to make more heart in the mouth moments, especially when you get to the tail end of games that are close, or if momentum switches. Usually people talk about being saved by the full-time whistle. I'll tell you what, you're probably going to end up having the full-time whistle be your worst enemy. But yeah, it's first game for Vincent Kompany. It's not made for a great showing, unfortunately. It's not made for a great showing at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's such a tough game to start the season off. I suppose the only thing going for you really was that you were playing at home. It's Turf Moor. Turf Moor at least, try and upset the apple cart a bit, but Vincent Kompany not looking as though he's quite got this Burnley team firing on all cylinders for the first game. City, top of the league, need to score 4 now on Monday versus Wolves. I don't know if I'll tell you what though. I think the fact that Wolves have had quite a bad transfer window, but they've not got a manager who prides himself off of a strong, solid defence. I think that this game is going to have goals in it, 100%. One thing I really don't want to see is, Wolverhampton Wanderers somehow have a good game. Because there's literally no reason why Wolverhampton Wanderers should have a good game on Monday night. There's just no reason for it. It wouldn't make any sense. Sitting there, imagine that, like 20 minutes in on Monday night and Wolves are like 2-0 up or something, and you're just like, what the absolute bloody hell has happened here? I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm going to look like an absolute clown on Monday if I do my watch along and we're 2-0 down in the first 20 minutes. I'm going to touch wood in multiple fronts. Touch wood that we beat Wolves, and we do so convincingly. United need to score early. Well, I'll tell you what, it's Old Trafford. I'd imagine if it's overwhelming momentum, if we just start on the front foot, we attack with intensity, then that will be a fantastic start, to say the least. And grab ourselves a couple of good goals as such. United need to score early. We do. The game is finished. So Manchester City, have laid down the foundations, picking up from where they left off last season. It's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good for the rest of the league. I'm telling you. It's scary times, scary times. But yeah, so Haaland, a brace, opening game, Rodri getting himself a goal as well. Yep, exactly. Business as usual. It's just good business for Man City. Whereas everyone else would be absolutely over the moon, beating Burnley 3-0, say, yeah, we're gonna go, go win the league. And I'll tell you what, if there's any other team that beats Burnley 3-0 and says we're gonna go win the league, I'll tell you what, you'd sit there and you'd say, chill yourself, calm yourself down. Don't get ahead of yourself. That ain't happening. Ain't happening. Meanwhile, Manchester City, they beat Burnley 3-0 the first game of the season. If anyone says, oh, we're going to go win the league now, you'd say, yeah, you're going to go win the league now. Well, at least I'll get to look forward to my team playing further later on this weekend. It's like might as well just call the curtain on the season now. Call the curtain on the season now. It's over. It's done. It's done. First game of the season's finished, and it is done. But anyways, the match is finished. Leave your thoughts and your feelings about this game in the comments section below. On the playbacks, and let me know what you think this is going to entail, whether you're feeling good about the new season, whether you're bricking it, or whether you're just sort of, chilled down the middle, straight down the middle. You think there's going to be some goods and some bads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is it from me tonight. I'm going off to bed. I'm going to get myself a nice early night. Got myself work tomorrow. Annoyingly, it is going across all of the games that are playing tomorrow, so it's going to be blimmin' annoying with the hours, because I'm going to miss all of the games on Saturday. Well done, good show, albeit that caught it late. No worries at all, Stephanie. You showed up, and that's all that matters to me. Big ups to you. Laters all. Big ups to you, Big T. It was fantastic to see you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you ever so much for the support. Big ups to those who have liked the stream. Big ups to Longhaired Yeti for dropping in as well. Obviously, this channel is linked in the stream title. Make sure that you go drop him a sub and turn that notification bell on so you know when he goes live or drops a video. Thank you very much, Mama Flossie. Big ups to you as well. Thank you very much. Take care, gang. Yep, everybody take care. Enjoy the rest of your Friday nights and have a splendid Saturday. I'll probably won't be doing a stream until later on in the day for Saturday, although if I'm absolutely knackered, I might literally be too tired to boot anything up, because retail is a hard ask. You go and bust your ass on a Saturday in retail where it's customers galore and running up and down stairs. So I might literally just be too gassed out to actually be able to boot anything up. So if I don't turn up tomorrow, I will be around the community. I will be checking out some other streams going on as well. So I won't be, missing from the scene. But if I'm not streaming on that night, you'll know why. You'll know why. But definitely Sunday I will be around. I'll probably do a watch along for the Chelsea Liverpool game, because I'm massively anticipating that game. I can't see Yeti's link. It should be in the stream title where it says featuring at Forest 187. You should be able to click on that highlighted at in the stream title, and it should take you through to his channel. But if not, just type in Longhaired Yeti's Cave and look for the Nottingham Forest logo when you search when you refine the search to channels. Because I know if you type in Longhaired Yeti's Cave, you'll literally find loads of Longhaired Yeti videos that are not actually Longhaired Yeti. It's just Yeti videos, nature and all of that. But yeah, big ups to everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. Big ups to everybody, and we'll be seeing you again real soon. Take care, everybody. Good night and goodbye.